Morning, get up early in the morning. A new show which talks about Zambian football. Really exciting show. This is a very relaxed show, so don't expect the usual
It's
serious
not that
analysis. Maybe
serious. No,
not that
it's on the
serious.
cool.
Maybe Bozan will bring
It's
that
on the
serious
cool.
element. But yeah, yeah. It's a relaxed show where we just talk about Zambian football, and we get a chance to get our views here. And we've got we have five of us. There's some that is there's one person who is still yet to get on board. That's Matthew Skabamba, but he'll come through, and it's going to be exciting. There's a lot of exciting things that we're going to talk about, and we've also got one competition where you stand a chance to win a 50 quarter. So you stand a chance to win a 50 quarter. However, that's if you are in Zambia, you need to be in Zambia to participate. But let's begin. Let's start with everyone who is on board. There is firstly Abdul Hamir, all the way from the United Kingdom. Abdul, morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yes. How are you?
Fine. So Abdul,
You know what it is? Yes, it's a very early morning for us in the UK, but never mind. I got up,
it's
like your
still
show says,
fine.
get up.
It's still 6. Get up. So it really applies to you. So Abdul, you were born in Zambia, and then you
Correct, yes.
then where in Zambia were you born?
Yeah, no, what it is, I'm a third generation Zambian. I was born in Andola. I came to the
Oh, so I
United
thought you were
Kingdom.
from Lusaka.
No, I'm born in Andola, Copper Belt. Yeah.
We can hear the
Kompala.
Konkola accent in there.
Yes, no, I came to England. I was 16 years old. Correct, yes.
Okay, so you've been there a while.
Yes, I've been in Leicester for a while, yes.
Okay, and you've been following the developments. Okay, all right. Cassandra, you've been coming up in the game. You're now on Spring TV, off the bench. So Cassandra, you give us a slight introduction of yourself as well.
All right, so I'm going to give the more controversial introduction. I think I'll be changing these for every time I show up on this show. Right now, I'm going to brand myself as the journalist that's going to bring to book everyone that owes the Zambian fans an explanation. That's going to be my mission and my motto in life. But yeah, sports pundit, sports analyst, been loving the game for a bunch of years. But we are here basically to ask the questions that people don't want to ask. Us, we are going to ask them live on national TV. So I think that's about it, Punch.
All right, Bozani, you manage in 20 seconds. Kind introduction.
Well, my name is Bwezani, and I'm a brainchild of this show. Punch shouldn't actually lie to everyone. This is my show. It's so yeah. I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited to be here, especially that we of course with our friend from Leicester and this Bemba boy Matthew Skabamba. He has a lot of things running into his head. Sometimes I just don't understand him. So it's good that he's here because I have a lot of questions, just like Cassandra, there's a lot of questions to those that owes fans Zambian football. But me, I think it is more to do with Matthew Skabamba.
Okay, and lastly, Matthew Skabamba, an introduction of yourself and who you are.
I think, Punch, I think we need the referee on this panel because Bozan is already breaking the rules. He said short introduction, but it's going overboard. Anyway, I'm Matthew Skabamba. I'm a football writer for the Zambia Daily Mail, and I'm happy to be on this show.
All right, okay. Let's begin. The first talking point is obviously on this is on Patson Daka. You know, he's in the Premier League. He's doing great things. Abdul is based in Leicester City. Patson, he's going to be in action tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. Hopefully, his Leicester City is going to be in action tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. Hopefully, he will play. He will play. What are your views, Abdul? Can you give us certain information? How is Patson? How is his situation at Leicester?
I think,
what type of love does he receive? What inside information have you heard about him in and around Leicester City?
Yes, okay. First and foremost, Leicester City Football Club have a very good culture where it's a very warm culture. It's a very warm club. Everyone gets together, you know. They lost the owner in the helicopter crash. And after that, I think more unity came into the club. And I'm very happy to say Patson Daka is guided and he's controlled by a very good manager in Brendan Rodgers. Yeah. So it's not necessarily important to see Patson playing every game of the Premiership. I don't expect him to do that. Maybe next season he'll come up more. At the moment, it's about game management and looking after the boy. That's all. As we all know, yeah, Patson Daka is a very humble guy. He's a very good man and very humble. Because sometimes when you're playing football and you become famous, you go overboard, you know? So it's about him being looked after as well. So he's a very good man and a very good club. And I think my take on Patson is that in the end, he'll end up in a bigger club. For example, Man City, Liverpool, or Man United. God help us. But anyway, I'm not a United fan.
Okay, so now he's there. Firstly, have you since he joined Leicester, since you've been in Leicester for a while, have you physically had a chance to actually see Patson Daka and interact with him?
Yes, I spoke to him twice at the training. I was down there and I just said hello to him, and I just behaved like, you know, I said to him, I'm from Zambia and I've lived here a long while, and he got taken by it. He became very humble. So I was taken as a person where Patson Daka is not the first footballer I've met in UK. Yeah, I've met other footballers as well, and I see sometimes the arrogance a footballer can have. You know, they won't speak to you, they won't want to know you. But the first time I met Patson, I'm very happy to say he's very humble, very good man.
Okay, and it's something interesting as well. The community in England, the Zambian community, do they go and watch Patson playing, or is it just you who goes for matches? So are there other Zambians who go to watch Patson whenever he plays at Leicester?
No. What is interesting is that I have an allotment across my house, yeah, and an allotment means that I like farming. In England, we do gardening, yeah, and the thing is, in the allotment, there's a lot of English people at the allotment, and they know I'm a Zambian. So since Patson has come for play for Leicester City and the Leicester City fans, he's encouraged the Zambian name in Leicester, yeah. So he's made Zambia known, you know. For example, people ask me, "You come from Zambia? Wow, Patson played for Zambia," you know, that kind of thing. So he's brought the Zambian name very big in UK and very good. Yeah, he's a superstar. He's Zambia's best superstar at the moment.
He is.
And Punch, you'd also agree. I definitely agree with him, because there was a clip that showed when he was going into training, and there were a number of Zambians, okay, who saw him just get into training, and the way they just flashed the Zambian flags, you understand, clearly tells you that there's that affection of the Zambians, and with a Zambian in Leicester playing for that team, you could actually see that connection. And I'll give you a practical example, Punch. I've traveled elsewhere where you get into a country and immediately you realize that this guy is from my country. You know, there's that connection that brings you together. Okay, you may not be friends, but just the connotation and just the link that you're coming from one country brings you together. And it's not like we have all the thousands of people who are Zambians in Leicester. So that very few family of Zambians who are in Leicester, believe you me, even if they are not fans of Leicester, as long as they know to say Patson is from Zambia, they get that inclination with Leicester.
Exactly, yes. Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Cassandra, can you also weigh in? Patson Daka, he's going to be in action tomorrow at in the FA Cup against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, a great team of the past. His coach, that's the other week, Brendan Rodgers, he told him that you are not running too hard. We brought you here because you've got pace. And that's how you're going to, score goals.
Sponge. The question is, Cassandra, do you think Patson Daka is going to be in the team? Forget about all those explanations coming from Punch.
No, can I just talk in? If you notice with Leicester City and Patson, hold on. Patson Daka in Leicester City has been used more in the Europa League. He scored. Remember, he scored 4 goals. So Brendan Rodgers, like I said, Brendan Rodgers is looking after him. You got to give him time. You got to give him at least another few months to get into the British way of playing here, because the Premiership is very, very fast. Yeah, and sometimes he came from Salzburg, didn't he? So where he came from is a different ball game to playing the Premiership here in UK. Exactly. Right. So you got to give him a few months to come into the Premiership. But my honestly speaking, he will move on to a bigger club. He's going to go to Man City or Liverpool or something big, or Chelsea. Yeah. Because Leicester City are not doing well at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. So jumping into that, like, I like what Abdul is saying. And I'm not sure where the context of the sentiment, but from like what I gather, Brendan Rodgers is a real fan of Patson Daka, because the boy has kept his head down, like Abdul is saying. It's not just in his attitude off the pitch, it's even on the pitch in training. He's training extremely hard. His numbers are starting to show. When you watch Leicester play, if you're not watching it from a technical perspective or watching the whole game, if you watch his camaraderie with his teammates, he has found a way to very quickly give himself to the process of learning, to a point where him and Madison are becoming buddies both on and off the field, and that does wonders for their performance on game. You can see they're starting to understand each other. You can see they're starting to
click
together. In fact, there was a time when Madison went on a goal drought. It's literally Patson Daka that handed him a goal after a long time to score it. It was a sitter.
On the plate,
he posted it, and Madison looked at him funny, and I could tell that this guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to do team dynamics.
Yeah, so it's Brendan Rodgers' management. Yes, yeah.
Exactly, and I like it. But what inspires me the most about Patson Daka, and I think this is why he's probably going to go to a big team and probably do bigger things, is I've seen leaked videos of him training at Leicester. That boy is not playing games. He is aggressive in his training. He's very serious. He puts his work ethic into it. And I know that everything we're probably going to hear from Brendan Rodgers is just to sort of push him to do better, to try and get him to get a little bit more out of the boy. I think we're going to see him for a long time.
Also, briefly, what it is, we've had Collins Busuma. He never did well. Yeah, he failed.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, Emmanuel Mayuka, failure. Yeah.
Very
so the thing is that
I like Abdul, guys.
but listen, guys, listen. What Abdul is talking about is actually not to do with the talent on the field of play. It has a lot to do with how a player is managed. And I think if you look at the history of Patson Daka, I'm not comparing to any of the players that have gone and failed, but if you look at just the upbringing of Patson Daka, you see a lot of discipline. It has a lot to do with how both Patson Daka and Enoch Mwepu are being managed. You can actually appreciate them and look at their patience in upgrading. Remember the season back when every Zambian was crying that he should break into the English Premier League, and their manager said no. He had a lot to learn. Let me give you an example as to the reason as why he didn't move at that point. He was always second striker at Salzburg, and immediately that boy left for Dortmund. Everything was now on Patson Daka, and that is what his managers wanted to do. How does he handle it as a first-time striker? You're a first choice. And I think immediately he managed to do that. That was the time he moved. So it's the patience, the management, and just the discipline of the player that makes Patson be good.
And by the way, he outperformed Erling Haaland. I've been on this train. I like the point that you brought up, where they wanted to see him perform as a first-rate striker, as the first choice. He outperformed Erling Haaland. I'm just trying to put it out there that Patson is better than Haaland. I've been on this train for 2-3 years, and I want to officially state it here. Come at me if you want, but the numbers don't lie. He outperformed Haaland at South. So do what you want.
Yeah, topic for another day.
But now, here's my question now for Kwezan. Let's add some truth here.
Okay, guys.
It's a very true point. But whose responsibility is discipline? Is it the manager or the player himself? Who is the one who's supposed to be disciplined?
So there are two things here. First of all, the key is the player himself. You understand what I mean? The key is the player himself. But on top of that, the one who manages the player has a very key role. This is the reason as why we go to school. You understand what I mean? To try to internalize everything that we get into school and make it for ourselves. That is what Patson Daka is actually gathering. His self-discipline. And the reason I'm going to tell you, the reason I'm going to tell you that the manager is very key, I also want you to look at Enoch Mwepu. You realize that they have the same manager and they bring the same traits into the game. And this is the reason as to why players have to learn, first of all, self-discipline, and they have to be careful on who they pick as their manager.
But I think even Patson Nkana will end up in the Premiership anyway. Because at the moment, what it is, the buying market of the Premiership has become very volatile in terms of the money being spent. There's not enough players around. So in whole, there's a lot of talent in African football that needs to be exploited down here and moved on. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that was the huge talking point. Now, so for those who are watching, there's a competition that we've started. It's called the Get Up competition. Now, all you need to do is that today there are going to be Zambia Super League matches, week 22. The only day where there'll be matches. There's one match which was played yesterday. Nkwazi managed to beat Prison Leopards 2-1. So for today, you can name one player who's going to score a goal and stand a chance of winning a 50 kwacha. Name one player. Now, what's going to happen is that if there are more than one people that are going to name that one player, then there will be a draw. So there's only 50 kwacha up for grabs, 150 kwacha. However, you can name one player. So if you think,
and we have a lot of calendars, but you forgot to say, we also have a lot of calendars to just give away.
We've got a lot of calendars to just give away as well. I forgot to add that. So just name one player and get a stand a chance of winning a 50 kwacha, and those others who come out in second and third place will also get a calendar. I don't know. Are the things done? What do you call those? Are they done?
The diaries?
The diaries, yes.
Yeah, we've very few diaries, but then a lot of calendars to give away. And we'll be giving them away at the game. Cassandra doesn't have one, so I'll make sure I take it myself to him. Huh?
Okay, all right. So let's get into the second part. The second part of the talking point is that Konkola Blades will be playing Red Arrows today at Koroma. They arrived here at 15 hours. The league leaders. Bozani hates this topic because he's a Red Arrows fan. Now, what happened last week, for those who don't understand the context, is that Konkola Blades, Red Arrows and Green Buffaloes, their kits clashed. The previous week, Red Arrows were playing Nkana, and
they didn't clash. You messed up everything. They didn't clash. They were the first official.
We saw the outfit. We couldn't tell. In fact, people were saying very strange things about who plays for who. Someone was even laughing at Chamanga made a transfer.
But there's something you need to understand. You understand? It's players don't just go into the pitch. There's inspection that is done before that. You understand? So remember, there's a fourth official, there's the referees. Everything was okayed. When they walked onto the pitch, the fourth official said there's a problem with the goalkeeper kit, and you understand what I mean. So they were okayed. If it wasn't done earlier by the match officials, people were going to change even before the game started. You understand? They walk onto the pitch after the inspection, and then the fourth official realizes to say, no, they're not looking well. It's nothing to do with Red Arrow's punch. It has a lot to do with it. Come on. It has a lot to do with match officials that do inspection. You understand?
Okay.
You guys are too experienced to be giving us those
Matthews wants to say something. Matthews.
Tony for Red Arrows here. So in terms of Red Arrows for everything, I think I'm saying whether no jump at the defense of Red Arrows, and we're going to be here the whole day. I don't know why. I don't know why you're uncomfortable with the word clash. If there was a yes, they ordered they okayed in the during inspection. Then when the players moved onto the pitch, the referee called for a change of kit. So what do you call that? Isn't it a clash? It's a what? If it's not a clash, it's a what?
Yeah, Matthews. There was an inspection which was done. You understand? So they were okay to go and play. You see? So what I want to say is it is not the fault of Red Arrows. You understand? It is the fault of the inspectors. Now, Punch wants to jump at every opportunity because there was a clash against Nkana. He wants to make it as a topic. You understand? At every time. Hey,
they'll issue another statement for him.
Very interesting conversation.
All right.
So anyway,
okay. You can go on, Cassandra.
Yeah, so no, I was just weighing in. So looking at the game today, Mr. Pwezani, my concern is, do you guys think that your current form is sustainable? That's all I want to understand. And what's your expectation for how this will play out?
Well, first of all, look, today's game is not an easy game. You are playing Konkola Blades that are in the relegation zone. They know it's not nice to be there. Red Arrows, whether it is sustainable or not, look, my fingers are crossed. Green Buffaloes showed me something that is very strange. You understand? So we were all excited. We were all excited to see what Green Buffaloes was doing. One loss against Green Eagles, everything tumbled. So we are enjoying the form. We are enjoying the 4 wins in a row. And I'm looking at it and say, how long is it going to be? You understand? But it is interesting because, again, if you look just behind you, Zesco United is breathing fire. So it's something that I think brings a lot of mental strength. We've managed now to play without James Chamanga, which is a big plus. I think every time he missed out, the team struggled. Now, the fact that we are able to play as Red Arrows without Chamanga brings a lot of satisfaction for me because he's a big player. Immediately he comes onto the pitch, you see a lot of maturity that he brings in. So we want to use him as much as possible, but we don't want to completely rely on him. Konkola Blades is going to threaten us, but I think for this one, Red Arrows is getting it.
A huge question, Pwezani. Joseph Sabobo Banda. Sabobo Banda signed on deadline day. 12 minutes before deadline day closed, he signed a 1-year, 6 months loan deal. This, for some people, they say that this is the next Karusha Bwaria, this is the next Patson Daka, Joseph Sabobo Banda. A lot of people expected him to go to either Barcelona or Red Bull Salzburg. Then it seems that whole situation didn't work out. Now he's at Red Arrows. What information have you heard? Is he going to play? Is he going to play today?
Well, first of all, hold on a minute. How old is he? What's his age?
He's 16, turning 17, I think, this year. Yeah.
Wow. He's actually going to turn 17. He's actually going to the 18th birthday. But I think there's so much expectation. There's so much expectation and excitement. And just as I said about the Patson Daka, this is what managing a player calls for now.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Because this boy has been top scorers at all junior tournaments, and coming into Red Arrows, if Red Arrows are going to rush this boy, believe you me, it will be a problem. They need to give him as much time as possible. Remember, a lot has been talked about him to say he's the player that is not going to play Super League. So if he's thrown into the thicket, it will be very problematic. I think he's one player that can be managed well. Let the team play without him. At an instance where the team is comfortable, throw him in and see what he is able to do. Because he is a young lad, but 10 minutes to go.
Left in the game.
Exactly, and everything is okay. He needs to grow a bit.
I have a quick question, for everybody. This Sikazwe, the referee of AFCON, the Zambian guy, he blew the whistle early. He blamed heat stroke. Where did he get his qualifications from?
Okay. That's wow.
I think no. So I know. Okay, I don't know. Punch, are you going to let me answer or no? It's up to you.
Answer that one.
I don't. Answer.
Gentlemen, heat stroke was the easiest way AFCON could have explained that one. So let me make things clear. If Sikazwe was completely at fault, AFCON were going to distance themselves from him and they were going to leave him out to dry. What happened here is behind the scenes there are statistics and information that is embarrassing if it comes out in broad spectrum. So there are two factors here. There are two things that they introduced that were brand new. VAR was one of them, and water breaks was another thing that's very foreign to us in Africa. We don't understand what that is. We play in extreme weather, so we don't know these things. So when they went for a water break, Gianni's watch was not stopped officially. And the officials in the back room also were not efficient enough to track the 5 minutes that were lost during that water break. So when Gianni's watch hit 90, on the main clock, we had 85.
Who was supposed to stop it? Who was supposed to stop the watch for Jan?
Well,
him, but he was supposed to be assisted by his backroom staff in his ear.
There was something.
He's a main referee. He's the one who is supposed to stop it.
Yes, but you see, it's a new process because if you look at even just how VAR has rolled out that
stopping the watch is not a new process. Stopping the watch is not a new process, man.
Stopping for a water break, it's not something you expect. So usually people just make a mental note. So when he went for the 90, they just told him, we still have 5 minutes. He assumed it was extra time. And then blew after 4 minutes, not knowing that what they should have explained was 5 minutes. So if you look at Gianni, where he looks confused and he looks like he's talking.
Matthew's coming. Matthew's coming.
That's when he's figuring out what's happening.
For me, I think the issue of Gianni, first of all, most of the things that you hear out it is based on speculation. There's no video footage where we are shown him forgetting to start his watch to start with, and then I think only Gianni knows what happened really. To give him a little bit a benefit of the doubt, I think he's the only one who knows what happened. Water breaks are not new in African football. Even in our league here, we usually have water breaks around October, if I'm not mistaken. So I think to think that he forgot to start his watch because of a water break, I don't think that really happens. For me, the other thing is that referees are like judges, they are usually protected. They are usually avoid we will really never know what happens to Gianni. I received the issue of heat stroke with a pinch of salt, but you never know really this thing. So as to whether CAF was just protecting him or not, those are things that we will really never know. But I don't think he forgot to start his watch. In any case, he had communication from
from production.
from his
Yeah,
other
I want to
football to start their watch.
Yeah, there was serious communication from his backroom staff because he's not alone.
But you see, if there's communication, Bwezani, it should have been very easy to have told him we are still within regulation time. Because when they told him that, they would have clarified how much time for regulation is there, and it would have been very clear to him. And that's what I'm trying to indicate. I think there's something happening here that is not entirely Gianni's fault. Because they let him officiate another game except in the VAR room upstairs.
Exactly. That's what I want to agree with you. Look, of course, the stopping of his watch, it is his role. But I think the reason, I mean, the fact that he was actually not suspended, no negative comments came from CAF, it clearly tells you to say there's something that was happening in the background, and the CAF are actually with Gianni, because yes, he was given the VAR responsibility and he executed it very well. So even his statement can tell you to say there's something that he's not saying. You understand what I mean? Yeah, because just like Matthews Kabamba is saying, this is stroke thing. I felt like what all those are just stories. There's something special that is actually behind everything that happened.
Okay, guys. We've actually exceeded the minutes we were supposed to do in 30, but I'm going to allow an extra 5. People did complain that 30 minutes would be too short, so we're going to allow an extra 5 to 7 minutes, just an extra 5 to 7 minutes. Except no one has actually answered the question which Abdul asked. He said that, where is Gianni coming from? Now, Gianni, just to give a breakdown, he's one of Africa's best referees. He's refereed at the Africa Cup of Nations. This was in the 2015 final between Ivory Coast and Ghana. He was the center referee. He's refereed at the FIFA World Cup, and he refereed at the FIFA Club World Cup final. This was, I think, 2016 or 2017. Real Madrid played, I can't remember who they played in the final. It was in Japan. So he refereed in that match in the final. So he's a referee with vast experience. On the thing, this is what I also feel, which has not been talked about Gianni and this situation. If you notice, before Gianni came back, they said that that he had been given a 3 weeks break before he left for the Africa Cup. 3 weeks break. So that he prepares to go to the Africa Cup. Now, here's something very interesting. I was checking the other statistics of the other referees who were at the Africa Cup, and most of them in their leagues, they were officiating days before the Africa Cup. So I feel, this is just my personal feeling, that the fact that Gianni was not involved in any competitive football for 3 weeks, building up to the Africa Cup, 3 weeks to a month, basically building up to the Africa Cup, I feel that had a negative effect on him because he wasn't match fit as compared to the other referees who were officiating in the domestic league between days before the Africa Cup, 7, 8, 9 days before the Africa Cup kicked off. So I don't know why Gianni was given these 3 weeks. I don't understand. In the statement which Faz stated, this was just after that situation. I feel that contributed.
Punch, I know Gianni is our man, and we need to offer all this solidarity. But he brings in a lot of questionable decisions sometimes, and you wonder if his books of referee is different. You remember at Woodlands Stadium, even today, you are still asking yourself, what really happened that day? You understand what I mean? So he. Remember the penalty that he gave, and all his decisions sometimes, he's a good referee, yes, but if he wants to mess up, Gianni messes up real big. And it leaves a lot of questions.
Look at us, we are criticizing him. The national team was not able to get revenge against Tunisia. Gianni does it for us. Look, now he's under the bus. Guys,
no, but if Gianni wants to mess up, he messes up real big.
Last question. Who's winning the AFCON on Sunday? I think Senegal.
Yeah.
Senegal,
it's Egypt. We know it's Egypt.
No, it can't be Egypt. It's Senegal.
It's Egypt. You don't stop Egypt at this rate.
It's Egypt.
Senegal
By
is
the way,
attacking footballers.
Nkana is coming for you, Bwezani. So be steady there where you are. Don't get comfortable.
So
we're happy.
As we wrap up, let's wrap up. There are other league matches this weekend. Remember, those who are watching. There's a question we're asking. Can you name one player who's going to score today? For me, it's Bazo. Nkana are playing away in Chambishi. I think that Alex Longa is going to score. And also another side story is that I don't understand why Alex Longa doesn't play for the Zambian national team. The speculation is that whenever he gets called up, he refuses. That's the speculation that he turns down because of the fact that you remember that during the 2018 qualifiers, after he missed, I think, against Nigeria, his house was stoned. His mother's house was stoned. Since that time, I think he has become very uncomfortable playing. That's just my personal feeling. But I feel that he needs to be convinced because he's a good striker. Let's talk about Nkana are playing Chambishi. Guys, give your predictions as we wrap up on this one.
Yeah, so very quickly, let me go first, so that Bwezani can know that Nkana is not playing games. Current form, the only stain on our record for the last 5 games is you same chaps with your crooked football. We know you even know what you did. But Nkana in the last 5 games has only lost 1 game, drawn 2. We've got a very positive and strong record going into this, where we are unbeaten in our last 3. Chambishi, are in terrible form. They've been drawing and losing their last 3 games. So I don't even know why we're even discussing. I don't want to hear, no, this is a close one, Shani Wati, no, it's tight. Listen, Alex Bazongonga is Superman and he's here to save the day. He's here to rescue us from the banter. We already dealt with Power Dynamos, Red Arrows, you are next. Green Buffaloes, ever since you saw the Friday.
Cassandra, it's Chambishi versus
Nkana. Just a reminder for Cassandra.
So Bazo is going to score 2 goals.
A reminder for Cassandra. Chambishi beat you at your own home.
How long ago?
So don't be too confident.
How long ago?
Yeah, so let's look into the perspective. I think coming into this game,
are looking for a double of Nkana.
Correct. They are looking for a double of Nkana.
They are looking to complete a double of Nkana.
And look, it's not easy to score against Chambishi. The only thing that Chambishi do not know how to do is score. Their defense is very good. Look at the number of goals that they concede. Cassandra Ostachan. So it's not an easy game. It's not an easy game for Nkana. But look, we all know the quality of players that are in that team, and we know the difficulties that Chambishi are having right now. Yeah. So yes, favorite is Nkana, but Chambishi won't be an easy team to ride on.
Okay, guys. Parting remarks. We're just roundabout done. Any parting remarks as we wrap up? Abdul, we'll begin with you.
No, it's I feel blessed to be given a platform to speak. I wish Zambian football all the best, and I wish to see more Zambians playing in the United Kingdom. Yes, in the league. It doesn't matter. You got your championship, you got your premiership. So hopefully, Zambian football goes on a better note. Yeah, led by Patson, Daka. Yeah. And it's nice meeting you guys. Nice speaking to you, and hopefully we'll speak again. Yeah, no, after Senegal has won the AFCON.
yeah, Abdul. But you remember, Abdul, you gave a wrong. We were at it. Was it 2 days ago? You were saying Cameroon are winning. I told you Egypt will beat Cameroon, and I was like, let's see. But we saw what happened. So,
but those Cameroonian players, they went like rabbits when it came to take the penalties. They didn't know what to do
because Egypt were better. Egypt are specialists at the Africa Cup.
No, Senegal is attacking. No, Senegal is an attacking side. Sadio Mane, I vie for him.
Nothing.
We'll
Bwezani,
see.
wrap up.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for those that watch this show. Just to mention that this show is a developing show. Would actually want more suggestions to come through on how best you want us to do this show. It's just as we said earlier, it's not that serious thing. Of course, we'll be talking about football and as much information as possible. So your suggestions would definitely be very key. It's also good to share the platform with Abdul all the way from Leicester. Cassandra is just too noisy with his Nkana team, so that one is understood. But today, apart from the Red Arrows versus Konkola Blades, I'm also interested to see what Jackson Jesse Were is going to do in that game against India. So we have a lot of good games to go, but on record, Abdul, Egypt is actually lifting another AFCON. Damn.
Who's going to score today? Who's going to score the one goal today? Who's going to score for you?
Jesse Were and Alex Ngonga. These two are scoring.
Okay, we just wanted one, so we'll go for Jesse Were. Matthews, parting words, and who's going to score the one goal for you today?
Okay, my parting words would be, I wanted to have a comment on Joseph Shabobo Band. I think it's a good move to Arrows, and when you look at this move, he's joined coaches that coached him at under 15 and under 17, and also at Mitapa and Chisimbe. So I think they understand his development. I don't think they'll rush him. They have a plan for him, and we can only hope for the best, even as he starts playing Super Division football. On who's going to score, let me go for a wild card here. I think defender Luka Chamanga will score in.
You think so? Okay, we'll wait and see. Okay, who Power are playing BuildCon. It'll be interesting. Okay. Okay. Cassandra.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to jump on Abdul in terms of looking at our international talent. I actually want to make a prediction here on the show, so you have a nice soundbite. I think Patson Daka is going to exceed a lot of the expectations. The traits that he has currently are very positive. His conduct, his mentality. One of the things that's key for me is he's not over-impressed. He's not overwhelmed by his status in the UK. He's not overwhelmed also by the club that he's playing at. He's got a composure that's very important. And for me, first, it's the condition of the player. I do agree with Bwezani about the management, but it's the condition of the mentality of the player for me. And I see the same kind of discipline in Fashion Sakala, in Enoch Mwepu. And I expect Patson Daka is going to probably be, and I want to say it on this show, one of the world's best talent. Because when he was given a chance at Salzburg and his numbers were better than Erling Haaland, I'm telling you that's not a fluke, and you are going to start to see it already. He's mirroring Vardy numbers when it comes to his performance in England, and I think that's going to go far. When it comes to predicted goals, guys, there are people making their tickets. Let's not mislead people. Gonga is scoring 2 goals, not even one punch. He's scoring 2 goals. You tell me. You tell me. All right, Mr. Pancharello.
Okay, he's scoring 2 goals today.
We'll go back to you.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, it's all done. It was a good show. We as I said, anyone with suggestions here and there, you can continue giving your views on who's going to score the goal today. You stand a chance of winning a 50 kwacha. Remember, only one scorer, and we're going to close it at 12 hours. So that's the time when you can stop giving your predictions. Otherwise, it was a good show that we enjoyed. This is Get Up. We'll be having this every Saturday at 8 hours in the morning. Thanks everyone for coming through to the show, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hi, Daisy. How are you?
So